Good morning, my trippy hippies. Good morning. It is Tammy coming to you live this morning from my office. I'm in a couple of places today on this Easter Sunday morning. I know a lot of you probably have done your one time a year or your two time a year venture into a church. I know that's how we used to roll. I'm looking for my phone because I know I need it and I just don't know where I put it. And there it is. It'll find its way here. So as you jump into the state this morning, please do me a favor and say hello and tell me where you're watching from. And if you are a part of our Grateful Fed community, please also drop me a Grateful Fed in the comments. Good happy Easter, Miss Elizabeth Clark from Crew, Virginia. Um, I'm glad you're here today. I'm glad so many of you are joining us today. I am live in a couple of places today. I'm live on my personal timeline. I'm live in the Hometown Hippie group, and I'm also live on YouTube. So I'm live in a couple of places. Good morning from Victoria, Kristen, Gaiden. It's like, hang on, she said it's like Gideon. So Didion. So Kristen Didion. Didion. Or Gideon like Gideon. I'm just getting myself situated. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, Heather is out on the Atlantic Ocean fishing today from Appomattox, from Victoria, from Farmville area, everybody here. Thank you for taking a little bit of time on this Easter holiday to tune in to my nonsense. We have a couple of big things today. Number one, we're going to be doing 2 drawings today. The first drawing we're going to do is for this bag, this Easter bag of deliciousness. So if you missed what the Easter treats are, I'm going to pull them out and show you a little bit this morning while people are jumping on here, because I do have, I'm currently receiving a message. I've struggled for the last couple of hours. About the last 15 to 20 hours. I have been struggling a little bit, and I'll tell you about that. It's part of this whole today. So in this first giveaway, you're going to get our carrot pretzel rod. So isn't that the cutest thing? Selena and Grace have just been really stepping up the visual game. And I'm going to let y'all know today. So I'm going to tell you right now while we're doing this, go ahead and get something to drink. Make sure your phone's on charge today. Make sure you have a few tissues handy. The tears are starting to come, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's my energy or somebody else's out there energy, but I'm way overwhelmed with cry energy. So it's going to be one of the mornings I have a feeling. So tag a friend, all the things. So the first giveaway is for those of you who shared your Hometown Hippie story. I'm going to talk about that in a second. You're also getting the Peeps Nest. Let me cover that. The Peeps Nest. That's going to be our homemade peep. Isn't that the cutest little thing? Our homemade little peep, right? Sitting in a nest that we made, a coconut Rice Krispie treat nest, and it's sitting on homemade hard candies. Then, of course, our world famous eggs this year have been a hit. And then our bunny, which the eyes kind of stunk on this one. So the bunny ear cupcake. These are carrot cakes. So someone's going to win this, which this is a nice prize. 10, 20, 30. This is a $50 value. This prize is valued at $50 as it sits. And this is going to go to someone who shared with us your Hometown Hippie story last month. And I want to talk about that for a second. So this is the first prize on this Easter Sunday today. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of you entered into that. And that was, if you had to be entered into this, to be entered to win this, you had to create a post, not a comment, but a post telling people your Hometown Hippie story, like how you found the group, what the group does for you, why you are here, and what the benefits of the Hometown Hippie Elevated Edibles VIP page and the Grateful Fed community have meant to you. And good morning, Gina. And I'm sending out lots of y'all. Can we send some big heart energy to Gina? She just lost her grandmother. And I'm going to send Gina lots and lots of whoosh energy out, because I know that's when you're a caregiver and, someone has been so constant in your life, You know that they're not suffering. You know that they're in a better place. You know they're on a different plane of existence, and that you will see them again. But in the moment, none of that matters to the people who are left behind that are missing that soul's presence in their life. And I want to send that love out. And this crying energy today, I've been full of tears, and I always get like, I'm like, everybody's like, why are you sad? I'm like, I don't know that tears always indicate sadness for me. Sometimes tears are very much a washing away of things that no longer serve. They are usually, if I internalize and I take things up to the upper room and I meditate on things, right? And the tears sometimes are like the byproduct of me processing through. Can anybody else relate? Can I get a whoop whoop, a hell yeah? Yeah, I understand that. So a lot of times people say, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Why are you crying?" Like they get like really want to like comfort the crier, right? You want to comfort the crier. But what I have found is a lot of mornings I have woken up and I've sat in my bathroom, and yeah, I've done some lives from my bathroom. Where I get ready with me, right? And I have not done those in a long time because I have really taken that time in the bathroom, putting on my energy shield, which I always say when the earrings, I say, I have two ears, and as I protect my ears, I want to make sure that the things that I hear to my highest and best, I don't hear things that are not meant for me to hear, and that I listen twice as much as I speak. When I put this one, I want to protect me. I want to be able to say the things that are so people can hear me. And a lot of mornings lately, I have been in the bathroom, and I'm probably more mornings than not. And today it just kind of overfilled because I've processed a lot of things. Um, and most of those mornings, Rez is, why are you in a bad mood this morning? And I'm like, I'm not in a bad mood this morning. I'm not in a bad mood this morning. And I don't know how to explain it. So I just kind of say I'm not, and I kind of leave it at that. But I processed overnight a lot of big emotions for me, a lot of big thoughts and feelings. Uh, but I've also, I was processing through on this next season. Does anybody else always feel like Easter, even though spring is the equinox and it was back in March and it was a little bit ago. Does anybody else kind of feel like the seasons are like everything changes at Easter? Like that's when, like in the South, when you're a Southern lady like myself, you could start wearing white again, like Easter to Labor Day, or Memorial Day. I always said Easter. Mom said Easter because you wear your Easter dresses and all that. But Easter kind of feels like it ushers in this new season. And sometimes when you're ushering in something new, you have to put to rest and process through, and you can't bring everything into the new seasons, right? Everybody's heard like the thing about like some people in your life for a reason, some people for a season, because as you go in, even your wardrobe, everything about when you change from one season to the next, some things just don't come into that next season, right? It's like, think about just decorating your house. We're going to use as an example today. When we get excited for Easter, all the Easter eggs come out, all the wreaths come out, but you don't leave the snowflakes up, right? You don't leave, you might have left, like I know friends of mine who have, decorations for kind of everything, and they come out of Christmas, and then January is usually just like they keep their snowflakes up, right? Because snow happens at the winter thing, and then they go in, and February they start bringing out the hearts, and then in March they bring out the shamrocks, and then Easter season comes into play, right? But you don't see shamrocks out with Easter eggs, or you shouldn't, because everything has its season. And it doesn't, two things can be true. Shamrocks are amazing and fun and great little cute decoration, but they don't need to be in Easter, right? We don't need that in Easter because you got Easter eggs and bunnies and all of that stuff. So it's kind of using that as an analogy about just things in life. We tend to grip onto things that don't need to go with us into the next season. And so for me, the tears are a way, it's not even sadness. It's just like goodbye to the things of that season, because you move past them. And even if you're not saying goodbye forever, you might be saying goodbye for right now, right? Just like kind of what I'm talking about with Gina sending heart love out. Gina, I want you to know the message that I'm getting for you right now is that you have to say goodbye for this season to your grandmother. But you will see her again, and it was not goodbye forever. Like you will be in her loving energy again. You will feel that love again. So even though you can be sad in this season, know that you will be able to be see again. And as we come through to this Easter season, right? I'm going to talk a little bit, and it's going to probably blow your mind a little bit. But I did grow up very much in a Christian household. Like that would be the religion that I could speak about as far as organized religion and have a true lived experience, right? I read about Buddha, I read about Judaism, I read about Muslims and Islam, I read about these other world religions and big like organized religions, but the one that I feel comfortable speaking on and speaking about and talking about would be Christianity, because that's what I was brought up. I was brought up as a Pentecostal. I was brought up as like, you don't wear a dress, you don't wear pants as a girl because that's clothes of the world Pentecostal. I grew up shouting and like speaking in tongues Pentecostal. So not just a name, like I grew up in a Pentecostal church. So I understand, I have been brought up from like Sunday school, youth group, that kind of thing. And I am not someone who subscribes to organized religion at this time, but I do want to utilize a little bit. We talked about this on Friday, and I think it's going to really kind of come into play here today in regards to our Easter Sunday sermon, right? And that is talking about like the resurrection, right? The rising again of what this holiday signifies, right? It signifies the fact that Jesus Christ died upon the cross for all of our sins, right? That God so loved the world that he left his only begotten son to basically take the innocence and his blood, the innocent blood spilled for sinners of the world, right? And everybody kind of understands what Easter is about. But for me, it's really, I want to share with you all today in this setting and in this season and in this crying what did I say, like processing of emotions, that some of the things that I'm processing for are that as I sat last night and called in my angels, guides, and helpers, right? I said, I need a message for Sunday's sermon tomorrow. It's Easter Sunday. And I don't have words today. Like I've got a lot on my brain, and every time I sit down to write in my journal, it turns into a work to-do list or a need to get accomplished list. And it doesn't give me any true message for the people who are out there who I speak to on Sundays who need some encouragement, my people, right? I need you to give me something that is not like, nobody needs to know like what my Cisco order needs to go in before 1 today. Like this is not a Sunday sermon. I'm like, no little Sunday sermon needs a to-do list for Hometown Hippie and Grateful Fed. I'm like, why am I blocking all of this? Like, why is this all that I have? And I don't understand it. And then I stepped away last night from it. I was like, you know what? I was like, it's not going to come. And the message I got was pattern interrupt this, right? And know that all will be well. And then I wake up this morning and I spent a lot of time crying through some feelings. And then it came to me on the way over here, like it always has lately. The drive over to the shop is pretty much like the epiphany moment. Now, there are some days when the message starts coming in on Wednesday and I start writing it until the last minute of getting on here. But what today's message is about, right, is that I have felt the heaviness. Like I have said, and if some of you have not reached out, some of you I have not reached out, that you have been MIA, and I have not reached out. And that's a lot of my tears and my crying. I sat here today and this is what I processed through my heart hurting, right? Is that I notice when y'all are missing. I notice when you're missing. I notice when your energy is off. Even if you're not here, I can feel it from a distance. There's some big things that are happening under my nose kind of thing that I can feel. And I'm not sure, like it's intuition. And I'm like, if I say something that's going to hurt some people's feelings, like, hey, I know you're fucking up right now. Like you need to stop. And it's not my place. And, but what I processed through, right, was the things that do not go into this season with us. There are some people, places, and things that just don't go to the next season yet, right? And we talk about this a lot. Two things can be true. It's not that they're not loved, that we're not holding space for them to be exactly where we are, but we scoop down into the sand in the riverbed with our little gold mining sieve, right? The little shaker box, the little gold, the sieve. I think it's called a sieve. That's what it's called, right? Somebody Google that and tell me. The little thing you scoop down into the riverbed when you're mining for gold or gemstones, and you shake it, and then some things fall and they're not. And then the gemstones kind of stay inside the bucket, and you can then see what your treasure is. And so we go through that, and we up level, and we do the work, and everybody starts out the year kind of gung-ho, and we work through the root chakra, right? We worked through the root chakra. We got our root chakra tea. We're moving into sacral in the month of April. We're a little behind schedule, but we're never behind schedule. But we started doing that work, and so many people, right, came gung-ho, and then life happens. And I have been scooping and scooping and scooping, and not only have I not had anybody kind of in the bucket, I've not even had any sand, right? It's just not been there. And it made me sad a little bit, right? It made me sad a little bit. And then ego wants to question. I was like, what am I doing wrong? How am I doing the things? And I'm like, it's not about me. It's about their walk. It's about each and every one of them. There are people who are not going to go through the next season. The people that you love, the people that are just not, they have to make those micro moves. And you can't make the micro moves for them. You can't love them through it. You can't do that, right? Here's what it is. They've got to have their moment of and please do not take this the wrong way. Those of us who are doing this work have had the moment where our ego and the egoic death, that we have died on the cross, right? That we have died on the cross. We've gone through the dark night of the soul. We've gone into the cave, right? And we've risen again. And we said no more, right? We've said no more do I allow I'll do better next time to be we're like, this, it's it. This is our season. This is the time. And Elizabeth says, we'll talk about it at some point, but it's over. It's time I figured it out on my own. So it's my choice. Perhaps this time that will make a difference. And we all have our own walk. We all have our own walk. And there have been, we'll sit there on each month, we're like, who we didn't see this month? And each of us might have a list of 3 to 5 people that we each of us had like a connection to. We're like, I didn't see this person this month, and I didn't see this person this month. And they'll say, hey, have you heard from so-and-so? So when we're in this space doing this work that we do, like the Reiki and stuff, the intentionality matters. It's not like a piece of paper to us that we just go about the business of doing. Somebody like Selena might see an order and be like, hey, they ordered a lot more than they normally do. You think everything's okay with them? Because we know it's medicine, right? I'm like, oh, no. They got people coming into town, and they got some stuff for everybody, right? But we truly notice that. But a lot of you, right, have got to have your moment on the cross. You've got to have your moment in the tomb. You've got to, Jesus had to rise again, right? When he could have at any moment, he could have forsaken his father, forsaken God, and told them that he was lying, and they would have let him off. They would have been like, all right, see, he told y'all he was not the Messiah, blah, 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 right? But he went through the hard part, right? You got to go through the hard part. You got to do the hard stuff, right? You got to have that moment. You got to face all those things. You got to take the lashes. You've got to take the crown you got to take that, right? But then when you get put in that tomb, right? When all that stuff, when that's just out of you and you're just done with it, right? When you've hit that place, right? You've got to be the one that decides that you're going to roll away the stone and step out into your new life. Nobody could do that for Jesus, right? He had to walk that. He had to live all of that. You have to live all of that. I can't love you through it. I can't want you through it. Some people do not have the ability at this time. That you all have the ability. You all have it within you. Every single one of you has what it takes to rise again from whatever dark night, whatever cave, whatever tomb you're living in right now. Because it can be it hasn't got to be a literal tomb. I'm not saying that. But a lot of us are living in our own created tombs. How many people can give me a hallelujah, amen, that we live in a tomb of our own creation? And that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you're put on a cross, that you're whipped with literal whips, that you're wrapped up in your funeral shout, and that you're put into a tomb, and then you got to figure out how to come back to life. But a lot of you are living in that right now, in relationships that don't serve, in jobs that don't serve, in just the around people that just don't serve. Maybe within your own self that don't serve, right? And until you decide to roll away the stone, until you decide, you're going to stay in it. No, not nary a none of us can fix it for you. Not nary a none of us. That's some Tammy language right there, right? No one can do that for you. But damn, on this Easter Sunday, if you can see that Jesus, who got beat and torn to shreds, and it was innocent, and took it, and he could roll. I mean, he came back to life and like, get this stone out of my way, right? You can do it. You can do it. Y'all have seen people come out of the darkest parts of their life and be something new. You've seen people change. If you're watching me, you've seen me change. I had to roll my stone away. And I'm encouraging each and every one of you to find it within yourself to move your stones, to come out of your tombs, to rise again, to be resurrected in the light, to, and I'm going to tell you this, right? No matter what you have been through, every other awful, terrible, no good, nasty day that you thought was going to take you off of the planet, if you're listening to this today, you are still here. You're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. You have everything you need within you. You don't need to look to me. You don't need to look to your neighbor. You just need to look within yourself and know that you are worth it, right? And that's when I decided to come out of the tomb. When I decided to stop living in my own self-created hell. When I decided to stop allowing, you guys have been my stick in the track to hold that stone until I can do it again. I love that. You guys have been my stick in the track to hold that stone until I can do it again. And that's what it is, right? And that's the thing. A lot of times when I have these moments of just, I want to cry, it's because I mourn the people, right? I mourn the folks who are so afraid of the light that they live in the dark. There's two things, fear and love. When I say that, I mean that, right? Everything that we do operates from a base place. A base place. Fear or love. I choose love. Always. I choose love. I choose to operate from a place of love. Love of others and love of myself. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm not going to say that people can't love you, right? But I can tell you that you don't allow, you are not loved by others in a way that is penetrating love until you love yourself. Because until you love yourself, you don't accept love in the way that you should. And there's a whole much more to that. Now, if I can get my facial expressions to cooperate, I'll be good. Here's what I'm going to tell you, Dorothy. When you come into the light, It's not something you have to work on. Your face goes along for the ride because you should be so authentic that all your body language should speak it. If your body language is not speaking it, then you don't mean it. And that's what you need to work on, is meaning it, right? Because your face will keep up with your body. Your body is always going to tell the truth. There's a little thing you can do to people is you have them hold their arms out, hold them up, and you ask them questions. You say, "Tell me 2 truths and a lie," and you hold their arms up, put your hands on top of theirs. They cannot hold their arms up and tell a lie because your body has to think about the lie, and therefore you can't think to keep your arms up and think of the lie, and there's a moment where you're going to show weakness. So when your face matches it, that means you're authentic, right? The light feels so good. Come out of that darkness and take our hand until you can hold your own, then offer that hand to yes. And that's what I cried about today, right? I cried about all of the people who are still living in the darkness. I cry about the things that maybe I still live in because we can all talk about that, but we all also have kinesiology, exactly. But we all have these little places within us that still reside in the tomb. And so I have little pieces and parts of me that are having to come out. And a lot of times you have, even moving the stone and coming into the light feels great, but there's a mourning for all of those things that are left in the dark, right? All of those things that are comfortable. It's not that you miss the abuse or you miss the negativity or any of that, but the ego misses it because the ego is comfortable with it, right? It makes the ego feel good and soothed out and all of that stuff. So I'm going to encourage each and every one of you today, right? Each and every one of you today. The song that we've been hearing all week, I always get a song. Like the other week, it was Vienna by Billy Joel, slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile, but then if you're so smart, why are you still so afraid? And I had to think about it, right? It's like, I need to, what's the hurry? And I needed to realize that I needed to find joy in my life. And that's the song, kind of, my angels, guides, and helpers speak to me through music. A lot of times they will talk to me directly through lyrics and things like that. A lot of you say that music speaks to your soul, right? And so it speaks to mine too. And I have been listening this week, some things this week that have been coming out. The song this week that's been everywhere, like I put on that playlist and it's like 6 songs in, it's like, rise up, I rise unafraid, I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000,000 times again, right? Because Heather just said about holding the track open, right? I'm going to encourage you all to come out into the light, but there are you're going to have to keep doing it. You got to keep rising up, right? It's important to rise up. And that's what I had to be reminded of this week. And when I was thinking, I was like, oh, y'all been yelling at me all week about the message. I was like, oh. And then right before I get here, it was Into the Mystic, right? Also younger than the sun. We sail into the mystic, right? And I was listening to that song, and there was something in there. I can't remember the line that hit me. I was like, oh, it's about rise up. It's about rising up. It's about the fact, right, that I can lift you up. I can pull you up. I can boost you up. But until you decide, when you rise up, you have to rise unafraid, right? You rise up, rise unashamed. And that is a very personal thing, right? You need to rise up. You have to, it's from within. And no amount of pulling, the ropes, everybody's, come on, you can do it, right? No amount of that, right? Because as soon as we let go of the rope, you fall right back down. If we're pushing you up and boosting you up, right? As soon as we walk away, you fall back down. So the song reminds us, it's like, hey, you can't want it for them. You can't do it for them. And the tears come because I know how good the sun feels. right? It's no fun being in the sunshine all alone. Not that I'm all alone. I'm not saying that I am. Um, but so many times, because we're afraid of being in the sun by ourselves, right? We tend to lurk in the shadows. And that's where I can't lurk anymore, right? I can't lurk in the shadows trying to see who's falling behind. It's my calling, and the thing that I'm telling each of you, God is saying it's for a season, it's for a reason. You have to stand in the sunshine. You got to be the light that stays in the sunshine, saying, come on, it's fun. Encourage from the sunshine. Yeah, no fear. That was a big message given to all of us in the 80s and 90s. No fear was on everything. And yet we fear everything, right? We fear judgment. We feel persecution. We feel shame. We feel all of these, right? We fear everything. But it's fear or love. I'm not afraid of the dark, and I love myself, and I deserve to stand in the sunshine. It's as simple as that. Um, but that came through and came through. It's like, oh, rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, rise. I was like, what does this song keep following me around all week for? I was like, it's guess it's Easter, right? And then I was like, oh, and it just, as I could feel it coming through, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this message. Um, there's people who are so afraid of the sunshine. They're so afraid. They have because they have been programmed. Because one time in your teens or your 20s or your 30s or maybe even last week, you stepped into the sun and you got burnt. How many people right now are listening to me going, that's all great and all, Tammy, but I've stepped into the sunshine and I got my feelings hurt. It's better to live in the shadows or in the darkness where I'm safe and I'm protected than it is to go out into the sunshine and think that everything's going to be fine and then get my feelings hurt and then I have to go, I get thrown back into the tomb and then it's harder. I got burnt. I got sunburned, right? I love that. I will choose love and I will have no fear. Rise up, beautiful people, right? But that's what happened, right? Somewhere in your life, you believed in happiness, right? Something happened and you got burnt if you're still living in those shadows. Makes me think of an audience participation line from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Be just and fear not. Be stoned and fear nothing. I fear nothing. I love that. I love that. Um, but if you got burnt in the sun, sunburns go away. And it's not about getting burnt in the sun, I promise you. It was about somebody grabbing onto you that wasn't in the sun. It was a lesson or a blessing. I was a repeated vicious cycle until I finally found myself, open my eyes and felt all the emotions and faced it head on. Exactly, right? You have to do the work. And here's the thing, right? You roll that stone away one micro move at a time. And when you start making those micro moves and you start seeing that sun poking through and you start seeing the life that could be out there for you, right? You start seeing the possibilities versus the limitations. It's those kind of micro moves. It's looking at a situation and not thinking of all the cons, but really focusing on all the pros. It's just changing your perspective. It's just opening your eyes to the sunshine and adjusting and getting ready for all the beautiful abundance that can come into your life when you accept it. And that's all you have to do. I am worthy. I am ready. I am abundance. Money flows to me in both expected and non-expected ways. The world is my oyster. Only the people that serve my highest and best and that I am to their highest and best can come and enter into my life. I surround myself with like-minded people. So many of you are like, I try, but everybody around me is just, and I'm telling you what, that's the crying. You cannot be in the place of the problem and the solution. And that's why so many of us stay in the dark, because we're like, oh, there's people depending on us in the dark. And that's what I have been doing the last couple of weeks. I've been lurking in the shadows, right? So that the people that need to come with me can come with me and no more. No more on this Resurrection Sunday. No more on this Rise Again Day. I am in the sunshine. If you want to meet me, if you want to spend time with me, if you want to share energy with me, you don't need sunscreen. How about you? You want to hang out with me, get your SPF 50 because I'm in the fucking sunshine. And if you don't like the sunshine, if you feel you're going to get burnt and you don't want to do that, then I'm sorry, you have no access to me. That's just how it is. And that's what it has to be for so many of us, right? Because we can scoop down in there and we can keep doing this. And the more we keep scooping down in the dirt, the more we're down in the dirt, right? It's your responsibility to move your head, to move yours too. It is everyone's responsibility to do the work. We have to lead from the sunshine. We can't talk about how awesome the sunshine is in the shadows. We can't talk about how awesome the sunshine is from the tomb. We can't talk about how light the stone is and we can't move ours, right? So what I'm going to encourage you to do today is look inward. We talk about the power of one all of the time. I've been using an abundance intention you mentioned sometime back, and it works. The sunshine is a beautiful place. It is. The sunshine's a beautiful place. So stand in it, own it. Stop letting yourself feel like, well, I owe it to them to wait and let them. No, you don't. You owe it to yourself to say either keep up or get the hell out of my way. It's their responsibility. It's your responsibility. It's every single one of ours personal responsibility to find and create our own sunshine. My sunshine may not look like your sunshine, but it's my sunshine. That's the thing, right? How do I bring you into the sunshine when I don't even know what your sunshine looks like? Your sunshine looks different than my sunshine. That's why it's such a personal relationship. That's why it's so important for each and every one of you to do your personal work, your own personal micro moves, move your own stones away, step into your own sunshine, and let it be yours. Own it 100%. It's your sunshine. I love the sunshine. I love it. I love it. Place your feet in the dirt and let the sun shine. And let the sun shine. Now, we also have another giveaway today. We have 2 giveaways today. Cooking and spices is my sunshine. Exactly. You can find your happy place, right? The next thing we're giving away today is for everyone. We have lots and lots and lots of you on this list who purchased Easter items, right? Easter items the last couple of weeks. We are gifting away this giant, it's big as my head, y'all. This giant bunny head. This thing will keep you right all the way through probably Christmas night. You'll be eating this bunny until next Easter, probably. It's 3 layers of Dose chocolate with a giant coconut Rice Krispie treat. It is phenomenal. I'm saying this thing weighs probably, I don't know, 2-3 pounds. 2 pounds probably. It's a big one. Isn't it cute too? Isn't it the cutest thing ever? All right, so we're going to give that away to one of our Easter purchase people. Also, before we get into our card for the week, and our drawings for the week, we have everyone who places an order, the first 10 people, I think I got like 3 or 4 of them left. We had some miscellaneous pieces and parts to Easter, and we're making this a bonus buy weekend for Easter. So anything you purchase from now, if you've not purchased yet, you still have a chance to get some free Easter stuff, which we're doing. These are like 100 milligrams. We've got some eggs. We've got eggs. We have got eggs, Nest, carrot cakes, all the things. So you'll be getting something with your Easter treat. So with your Happy Easter with your order. So if you place an order this weekend, you will get a free bonus Easter treat in your order. If your order is over $100 before tax and shipping, your subtotal, you'll get a bonus. You'll get 2. So we're going to give away 2 prizes today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of our group stories. And then our Easters, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 21 of you ordered Easter treats. We're going to do a random number generator. I'm going to do this over here. I got a second screen now. I'm going to do this over here with random number generator. We're going to do those things this afternoon. But we are going to pull I'm going to pull that up while we're doing this. There we go. Random generator right there. But I do want to pull our crystal affirmation card for the week to go along with our message today. That was last week's cards. Those were last week's cards. I keep those in the book for my journaling prompt. And then here we go. There will be no Wake and Bake on Monday morning. Wake and Bake is going to move. We come live on Sundays. So we're doing Sundays Wake and Bake. We know that we have Mondays are kind of busy for me to come in. I just have not been able to get on live on Mondays. So we're going to move the first Wake and Bake of the week to Tuesday. So I'm thinking Tuesday we do Wake and Bake. We do Wednesday we do our What's Up Wednesday. Thursday we do high tea, and then Friday morning we come back with Wake and Bake again. So we're going to have lives Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So Sunday, Tuesday. So we do not come live Mondays or Saturdays. So that's the schedule coming into this next season right now. And we just had a card just jump out. I mean, it like literally I was stirring down here and it just jumped out. Ooh, interesting. I've never pulled this stone. I've never pulled this card, never even read about this card. So I'm anxious to see. And it's interesting on Resurrection Sunday about Jesus giving his blood to die on the cross for us. And it's interesting that the stone we got today was bloodstone. That's interesting. Get it up, get moving. Get up out of your tomb, get moving. Get it up, get moving. That's interesting. You can't make this stuff up. Let's see what bloodstone tells us today for our message for the week, for our journaling prompt. Can I get some thumbs up, some hearts, some O faces, some hallelujah, amens, a little something from the church in the back, because this is more fun with friends. Bloodstone. Movement is momentum. It is a life force, crucial to maintaining a healthy mind, body, and soul. In addition to just feeling better, when you are physically active, our mind is clearer, our mood is brighter, and our spirit is energized. Even on days when it seems hard, stand up and get your blood pumping. You might be surprised at how quickly movement can recharge you. Set specific goals to better serve the needs of your physical body and stay motivated to achieve them. Once you take the first steps, kinetic energy, we said kinesiology, I'm telling y'all, kinetic energy will kick in and soon you'll be off and running. So here's our core questions. Where does movement and activity place in the list of your priorities? What is getting in the way of you being active? How can you incorporate movement into your daily life? Now, I'm going to tell you, a lot of us stay in our self-created tombs because of limitations in our body, especially in this group with our Hometown Hippie group, because we have a lot of people who suffer from chronic autoimmune and chronic pain conditions, and that's why we help you a lot. But I'm going to tell you, I suffer from all of those things. I'm gonna be honest. This is probably a little bit of an overshare, and I don't want nobody freak out. Okay, everybody keep your cool. I'm gonna get everything figured out. And I didn't know I was gonna share this today. So for the last several days, I have been struggling with my right leg. Like my sister and Red will tell you. The last 2 nights I've had to sit in my recliner with my leg propped up pretty high because from my knee to my foot on the right side has been like swelling ridiculous. Like Heather was here for my little ER trip when I had both of my legs swelling. Well, this right leg got big again, to where I have not been able to like bend the knee. I'm like making a accommodation to walk. And one of them, I can't remember, probably my sister said something about you need to get off of your feet for a little bit and give your body some rest. And I got like super, like, it kind of stuck with me. I'm like, no, 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 because where your mind goes, your energy flows, and object in motion stays in motion. I am so afraid of like fear, right? We say we fear nothing, but I know that some of the things I've processed through overnight and all the tears, right? Is the knees are also a highway joint between the hips and the ankles, about moving forwards, where your feet are in one place, your heart is in another, and you're trying to figure it out. And so I understand disease and energy in my body, but I also know that uh, my body needs physical movement and activity to be at its best peak performance. So as much as I struggle with pain, as much as I struggle with those things, I understand that moving my body in a way that is going to get my heart rate up, that is going to give me some exercise, even in my chronic pain, even in my swelling, is imperative for treating myself right. I take accommodations, right? I will take an accommodation. We talked about taking a hike out to the High Bridge. And I know that a lot of us are like, that's a long walk. That's a mile there and a mile back. That's a 2-mile walk. How do we make that happen? We do it in micro moves. We walk a quarter of a mile, we stay and we stand and we sit down and we talk for a second. We take a breath. But every single one of us have the ability to walk 2 miles in and out in a small little way to do it. And I promise you, as a group with encouragement, it'll really help us to get our bodies moving. Friday is going to be for Peace, Love, and Feast Fest. It's going to be spent with activities to help us move our bodies, like kayak fishing or paddling around with the canoes. I am going to have activities where we do arts and crafts here all day. We're going to have a rock painting party. We're going to do all the woo-woo on Friday. I have been looking at the schedule and been meditating on the schedule, and Friday is for the woo-woo. Wednesday is for community and fellowship and coming together and hugging each other's necks and getting our energy right. Thursday is all about the plant and all of the fun stuff. It's 420. It's all of the fun things. Then Friday is all about the woo-woo, and then Saturday is going to be a combination of service and the power of one and giving back. So peace, love, and feast fest. We're going to peace, we're going to love. So Wednesday we're going to feast. We're going to peace out on Saturday and Friday. We're going to do all the things, but Friday it's a new moon on Friday. It's a manifesting moon. We're going to do workshops. We're going to do the solar plexus or the sacral energy workshop on Friday. We're going to do a new moon meditation and sound bath. We are going to really focus on the energy on Friday. Friday is about moving our bodies and feeling good and all of the things. And so get up and get moving. So I want to encourage there's going to be accommodations for all of that. So there'll be something for everybody to do. But I'm telling you right now, you can sit in your chair and move your body. Right? You can sit and you can move your body in a way that it's helpful to it. I do this thing where you get your lymphatic system moving, or not your lymphatic system, but your system moving, right? All of your nervous systems and stuff. You start by doing your neck 8 times one way and 8 times the next. Then I do shoulders 8 times one way, 8 times the next. I do it at my elbows 8 times one way, 8 times the next. My fingers, every single one of them, I move every single joint. Then I go to my hips and I move those 8 times one way, 8 times the other way. Then I do my leg. I sit and I rotate my leg in a chair 8 times one way, 8 times my knee. I spin it around. I do my ankles, my toes. I move everything in each direction. And it's a meditation you can do. And it's just getting the blood pumping in your body. So Bloodstone, get up and get moving today. I love this. Where does the movement and activity place in the list of priorities, right? Where does that look like for you? Like I don't go to the gym. I don't do that stuff. Think about it. Where does it place in priorities? What is getting in the way of being active? How can you incorporate movement into your daily life? And that, again, is just like your sunshine. That is personal for every single one of you. Somebody that I asked that question, right, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not important at all and 10 being the most important thing, where does physical activity rank in your 1 to 10? For me, and I know that I need to do it, it ranks for me before I came into the sunshine about a 2. Like, I move my body enough, I work my ass off, I don't need to do anything extra. Now it ranks about an 8 for me. It ranks about an 8 that I need to like get out in the sunshine, move my body, right? What is getting in the way of being active? If I ask every single one of you that question, every single one of you would have a different answer. Every single one of you would have a different answer about what's getting in your way, right? How can you incorporate movement into your daily life? That looks different for every single one of us, right? So do not hold yourself to somebody else's physical standards because it's not their walk. So whatever activity looks like to you, it doesn't matter if it's just walking to your mailbox and back. That is a start. Okay, so I want you all to listen to that part too, because it matters, right? Your sunshine looks different. Your physical activity looks different. But as long as you are standing in the sunshine, as long as you are actively moving, you know what's good for you. And that's the part of rising again that is important. You rise up, rise unashamed. You rise up in your way. And you could do it 1,000 times again, right? Because sometimes you have to keep rising up. You have to keep getting up and you have to keep doing it. But it's about the consistency. And the more that you are consistent with yourself, and things like physical activity is a great place to start. It's a measurable thing. I'm going to get up today and I'm going to walk to my mailbox. And then tomorrow I'm going to do it twice. And then Wednesday I'm going to do it 3 times. And I'm going to start doing it in little, I'm going to rise up. I'm going to try this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And it just takes those million little micro moves to get you there. Okay. So our crystal affirmation, right? And I love this because I say this all of the time. I don't like exercise, right? I say I joyfully move my body. And when we work from the house, one of the things that I did is that I would put on some music in the morning. I'd say, okay, Google, play me a song, play some music. And Google would pick something every day, kind of a little different. And that would be the playlist of our cooking for the day. That'd be the playlist of what we do. Just play us a song. It was an intuitive pick. And I would take the first, before anybody got there in the mornings, as I was drinking my coffee, I would have Google on like 10 to 12 with the music playing, whatever it was. I would sing and I would dance and move around the house, just joyfully moving my body. Just moving my body in a joyful way, right? So I'm going to encourage you today to affirm, joyous movement energizes me. Today, do one thing that gets your blood pumping. That's what all you have to do today, right? Bloodstone. Today, do one thing that gets your blood pumping. All right, on that note, let's do some drawings today. Let's do a few little drawings this morning. It's after 11. I need to get rocking and rolling. We're doing Easter at the in-laws and all of the things. So we're going to do some random number generators. We're going to offer some prizes up. As always, here's how prizes work. And that's going to be with Peace, Love, and Feast Fest as well. You can win prizes, but if you have to have prizes shipped, you are responsible for paying for shipping, or you can pick up here. So if you get this, it'll either be shipped with your next order, or you can pay shipping, or you can come by and pick it up. But if you do have to come by and pick it up within the next week, or else it won't be any good and you lose your prize. We've had people that have waited too long to pick their prizes up, and then boom, they don't have any good. Their prizes are not good because they I'm trying to get this thing up. Let me move this over here. Okay, here we go. Because they went to them. You need to use your prizes. We also have, there we go. Get this one up. Okay, we're going to share screen. Let's see. Share screen. Share screen. Let's see here. We're going to put this screen up. You can see it. Perfect. So the first one is for our Hometown Hippie story. And that is this bag here, $50 value. I would say this bunny rabbit is probably about a $300 value based on milligrams. We have 8 people. So we have 1 through 8. All right. So we have 1 through 8. We're going to generate a number 1 through 8. 1 through 8. Those are the names there. Elizabeth Clark, Ashley Hester, Catherine Shaw, Denny Barger, Sarah Watts, Hank Burns, and Candy Hayes. That's who we found posts for. That is who did that. So we are going to, those are the people we're drawing for. We do have a big contest coming up after Peace, Love, and Feast Fest. It'll start April 1. We have lots of stuff happening right now, but we do have some giveaways for that. We'll talk about that later. I don't have all the details to be able to share yet, but we are going to do our first drawing. Let me do this real quick. I know y'all are like, Tammy, just draw the damn winner. We're going to take that off, right? And we are going to random number generate 1 to 8. And hang on, number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sarah Watts. Congratulations to Sarah Watts for sharing your hometown hippie story. So let's see here. Congratulations to Sarah Watts. She won. Let's do this. Let me put that up there. I'm going to show that. So congratulations to Sarah Watts. She won our hometown hippie story. So I'm going to circle. I'm going to put Sarah Watts on this piece of paper. Congratulations, Sarah Watts. Sarah is our March winner of our Easter bag. So congratulations to Sarah. Congratulations. Now on the Easter egg, everyone who purchased Easter treats, some people got extra entries. So they have 2 lines. 21. Okay. 1 through 21. All right. So 1 through 21 on that. And we're going to generate that number. Number 9. Carolyn Davis. Congratulations to Carolyn Davis. She is our winner. Carolyn Davis. Congratulations to Carolyn Davis. You can pay shipping or you can pick it up. Carolyn Davis. All right, let me put that up there. And congratulations to Carolyn Davis. I'm going to remove this from the screen. Congratulations to both of our winners. Thank y'all so much for participating. You can still win if you get your order, not really winning, but you can get free stuff. So everyone who places their order today, tomorrow, while supplies last, through Easter Monday, we are doing a free treat while supplies last with your order. So get your order in today. Don't be late. We have the new menu, the sugar-free caramels have dropped. You have your pre-order tickets for the cookout as well as the baked brunch. There'll be other ticketed events that go on there very soon. We are very, very, very grateful for everyone who is going to be here. The volunteers who have offered to come in and help. We are going to be doing a bunch of fun little pre-rolls to have for everybody. We have a lot of fun stuff on tap. T-shirts coming for the tie-dye convention. Journals coming for the journaling. You can purchase journals and tie-dye T-shirts and all that here. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you are local, we will be at the Sandy River Distillery next Sunday, a week from today. We will be offering charcuterie and some chips and dips and some sweet treats as concessions for the Cocktails and Couture fashion show. Come out, support us. There will be a free red carpet cupcake for the first 50 attendees. So get there early, stop by the table, come see us, all the things. On that note, we're going to get off here today. I'm going to go do the rest of Easter to 11:11. We're right on time. I love each and every one of you. Go out today and rise up, rise unafraid, rise up, rise unashamed. Move your tomb, move the rock in front of your tomb and stay into the sunshine. Lead from the front. We love each and every one of you. And as always, we end these lives with a little peace, a little love, and a little feast, y'all. And as always, stay elevated. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Easter, and I will see you next time. Peace.